What's up, everyone? Welcome to Pat's Chat. I'm Doug Kyed, joined as always by Michael Hurley. We're a proud member of the CLNS Media Network. Make sure to hit subscribe on the Pat's Chat channel, Patriots Press Pass, everywhere. Turn on notifications for when a new video drops on the channel. And if you've enjoyed these shows this week, also leave a review on the Apple Podcast app because, I don't know, I think it does something good for us. Michael, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
7.5 hours of sleep last night.
That's a lot.
Wake up call. I fell asleep early like an old man. It was great.
That's incredible. You know,
Yep.
28-year-old Doug covering a Super Bowl is not getting 7.5 hours of sleep, but you've got to adjust as time goes on. I was going to say, I'm feeling well. I think probably better than Nick Eamon-Warrior's feeling with his ankle injury.
Yes.
But, you know, the bigger story than even the ankle injury is that Robert Spillane is sickened. He is sick to his stomach that Tom Brady's not rooting for the Patriots. So I think they got to worry. I mean, he's got the ankle and the sick stomach, so they're going to have to fix that. Not a lot of time to do it. Not
a traditional illness. Sick over. I don't know. I kind of liked that answer. It was real.
It's a bit much. It's a bit much. I mean, you're sickened, Bob. You're sickened. Let's not be sick.
I don't know. He was on the Raiders last year. Maybe there's some ill blood.
Maybe, but either way, this Brady thing got a lot bigger than I think I anticipated.
Well, I think it got big because there's not a ton of other major storylines.
And people
not to spoil this podcast of all of the biggest Super Bowl storylines.
No, but like people like Vince Wilfork are like getting mad at Tom Brady. People forget when Brady fake retired the first time, he didn't thank the Patriots. Remember, he thanked everyone else in the world, but not the New England Patriots. It's like the signs have been there. Tom's not a Patriot for life, despite whatever.
Funny? I actually kind of forgot about the fake retirement.
Yeah, he thanked Bruce Arians, he thanked the Glazers, he thanked every human being except for Kraft, Belichick,
and it was
and the Patriots.
Because he had already thanked them when he left, right?
That's what someone might have thought. I might have thought that, like, oh well, he probably didn't mean anything by it. He already thanked the Patriots, but I don't know. He's also, when he left the Patriots, his tweet headline was Patriot for life, which kind of indicates I'm staying, but he was announcing he was leaving. So Tom Brady's always been sending some complicated messages about his feeling toward the Patriots. But yeah, I think you're right. The reason that's become such a big thing is because it's like, what the hell else are you going to talk about? No one's stirring up controversy on the teams down there.
No, they're really not. They're all pretty complimentary of one another. I even asked a lot of the Seahawks pass rushers about Will Campbell, and one person did say that he's got short arms, but he doesn't play like a short-armed tackle. DeMarcus Lawrence didn't really say a whole lot, but said like, hey, he's here for a reason. So yeah, I mean, and I obviously wasn't trying to stir up controversy with that. I genuinely wanted to know what they thought of Will Campbell, and they were complimentary. So yeah, I was saying I want to talk about this on the pod. I think that every human being on earth is at Radio Row right now. And if you hear them in the background, I apologize for that. But I feel like back in the day, back when you and I used to cover Super Bowls, like you wouldn't have every single NFL player here, but it's like everyone is here. Justin Jefferson is here. Jamar Chase is here. Mac Jones is here. Joe Milton is here. Like the entire swath of NFL players now comes to Radio Row.
Well,
it's interesting.
It's become, I think, more common. I saw like Trevor Lawrence was just on NFL Network.
Yeah.
Which, it pisses me off. I don't know why. NFL Network is live from Los Angeles doing remote hits with people at Radio Row. It's like you are actually the NFL Network. You think you might be on site with your studio. But either way, and it just feels beneath these players and their contracts to be doing like chintzy little promotions for companies we've never heard of.
Right.
And like I know like the paper towels have become a popular one in recent years. And it's like
I'm looking at Bounty right now.
And it's like, dude, I buy like the Market Basket paper towels, you know, you're not swaying me from that because you sent defensive back from the Lions to do Radio Row interviews. It's very strange. But I would think
strange.
I think it's become a little bit more norm, and the destination helps. I don't think people mind a little West Coast trip this time of year, even though it's not Malibu, but
it's not Malibu, but the weather's been really nice. I asked all the Patriots players today what their favorite thing about the week has been, and I would say about half mentioned the weather. the fact that they were able to escape frigid, frozen New England for the Bay Area. So I don't blame them for that. But no, you're right. Like, I'm not going to buy Bounty paper towels because of this. I'm going to keep buying Costco brand paper towels.
Yeah, you get the. I mean, it's a paper towel. I mean, if you're getting boutique about your paper towel selections, and plus, if I'm going to go brand name, it's Brawny. It's just that's just great advertising. So yeah, it just feels like if you make, I know careers are temporary, right? But if you make $8 million a year, like how much are you getting to go on these radio interviews and do these little promotions where you have to shoehorn in like, buttwarts.com where you're like, oh, we fix butt warts. They're paying me $7 every time I say it. So buttwarts.com. It's just
how much money would you have to make to not make the deal with buttwarts.com?
I'm not the right person to ask. My income is pretty low at this point. So I'd be selling out for buttwarts, but like Trevor Lawrence, he's financially stable. He doesn't need to be doing this stuff. But I asked you and you said, no, probably not. There have been years where they let people buy tickets to Radio Row.
Yeah, I don't see fans in here. I think it would get too crazy if there were fans in here.
I'm trying to think of where they did that. Maybe Houston.
Yeah.
But either way, I could not encourage or discourage any fans anything more than to not buy tickets to Radio Row. Like, I guess technically you get to see some celebrities closely.
I mean, honestly, people would pay for this.
They did.
And they did. And they could probably get a decent, because I don't know how many autographs people are getting, but like there is an appeal for someone who's not jaded and media oriented like me to see Seth Rollins just walking around, or to see MJF just walking around, or to see, today I literally ran into Ted Karras, which was fun to do. And then I was talking to Logan Ryan briefly, and then he interrupted me to go, "Hey, Beezy." And it was Malcolm Butler who just randomly walked over to us. So for me, that all feels normal, but for a fan, it would be like, whoa, I'm seeing so many famous people. I think I see Trevor Lawrence as we're speaking right now.
Yeah. Ask him about buttwarts.com.
I will. I'll ask him how much they paid him for that spot. He's tall. He's taller than almost everyone else in here. That
is documented. It's
he's 6'6".
They categorize that kind of thing. But yeah, it's finally time, I think, to land this little plane. They're done talking, the players, the coaches.
Yeah,
you're done talking. You will not talk to them until the game is over and the Super Bowl champion is won. So
that's right.
By this day, typically, you're out of things to talk about. But did you get any more information other than what you mentioned with the Seahawks and Will Campbell comments?
Well, Drake May said that he's not lying to us when he said he feels good. So that's good.
Well, didn't he say I'm not trying to lie to you?
Oh, that is true. He might still be lying. He's just trying not to.
It's just happening, It's not his fault.
It's just happening. Outside of that, with today's media availability, Mike Vrabel talked, Drake May talked, then all of the players are sitting around talking. Mike Vrabel was, I'd say, non-committal about Robert Spillane. Robert Spillane, as he mentioned, not only sick to his stomach over what Drake May and what Tom Brady said, but also has the ankle injury. He did not practice on Wednesday, but I don't know. It seems like everyone who possibly can even stand up straight is probably going to be playing in this game.
Right. I mean, I would think, unless he can't run, he'll be active and they'll let him go until the wheels come off.
Right. Yeah.
It's just, there's no reason not to, other than, personal safety and whatnot, which guys are willing to sacrifice at this time of year.
Yeah.
And if you have to have off-season surgery, you have to have off-season. It seems like a guy like that at this point, at that position, there's so many reasons. If it was a punter, maybe he might be held out. But I think a middle linebacker is going to tough it out. It was a little strange on media night, the way that Spillane phrased it, where it's like, I'm 100% confident that we have a plan that will give me a chance to play.
Right.
And it's like, that's like a Sex Panther. 60% of the time it works every time.
Yeah. I agree with that.
But I think he'll find a way. I think the Eamon Worry injury is obviously.
You almost had a one another situation there. I had another one of those. I was doing a podcast on Giants.com, and I didn't want to misuse a word, but then I just forgot how to speak the English language completely. And I like the thesaurus in my head could not come up with another one. And I
Yeah.
legitimately had to apologize. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm tired. I can't speak right now.
That
But
happened.
on air, it probably looked like I had a stroke.
It happened to us recently, like last week, and someone did come in. Remember, I couldn't think of what a word was when you say something opposite of what you just said. The word I was looking for was contradict.
Oh, okay.
Not a very that's like a 6th grade word, maybe a 5th grade
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
So sometimes the brain doesn't brain the way you want. So Nick Eamon gets injured at practice, which is pretty rare, I'm gonna say. Pretty unusual.
I mean, it's tough. Well, it's tough to know because you never really hear about it when a player gets injured in practice. Sometimes the guy will just kind of pop up on the injury report on Thursday and you assume it happened in practice, but you don't know for sure.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you get an injury report like the pool reports where it's like this guy got hurt on this specific play.
Yeah, pretty strange. I guess because you have someone watching the entire practice,
Yeah.
which I don't know. I know with the Patriots, you get to watch stretching and then get shuttled out. So I don't know if other teams have more of leeway. Probably not. I think most teams would limit that. I have a question for you. I know you're not going to have the answer, so it's more of a discussion point because the Eamon Warrior thing was the big thing. But you look at that Seahawks injury report, and they rested 3 guys. Like 3 guys. Jackson Smith and Jigba was limited due to rest, and like
it's kind of funny.
DeMarcus Lawrence was limited due to rest, and I'm like, what are we resting here for? What are we resting up the week of Super Bowl?
It's already ready. They're ready to play in the Super Bowl. They're
Leonard Williams, right there. Not injury related / rest, and it's just kind of like, I don't know. The Super Bowl is Sunday, and maybe they missed a snap or 2 at practice. Right. It just jumped out like, what are we doing here? That was my question.
Do you know what I have an observation. And it's based on yesterday because yesterday's the day that I went to Seahawks media availability. The Seahawks feel looser than the Patriots. And I think you can take that one of 2 ways. To me, it feels like the Patriots are a little more like buttoned up and professional at this point in time. The Seahawks are kind of just feeling like they're doing whatever they want right now. So maybe that plays into the rest. But it was just like, I don't know. I feel like that's something I'm going to think about this week after the game's over of, maybe the Seahawks don't come out. If they don't come out as prepared, then it's like, maybe they shouldn't have been that loose. If they come out playing free and loose and playing great, that's like, oh, I guess they were the more confident, loose team heading into this.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know how the Seahawks operate. I'm glad you said that because it's interesting because I've mostly seen like Darnold and McDonald. And to me, they seem the opposite of loose. They seem
fair.
They seem like McDonald seems like he's ready to kill someone. That fourth, he was asked Monday night one too many times what he's going to do from the 1 yard line with 20 seconds left. And his answer was just like, well, that's no fun on media night. I think Darnold has kind of looked, he's kind of had a deer in the headlights kind of look. It just, he kind of looks, he's trying to be
deer
cool.
in the headlights or seeing
deer in the headlight. He's seeing deer in his headlights. No. So I don't know. I guess that's just the 2 people I've seen the most, but I think practice week does matter. You go back. I mean, after the Patriots lost the Super Bowl to the Giants, they said after the fact, like, we had a bad week of practice.
Right.
And it carried into the game.
Yeah.
I think Malcolm Butler not playing in the Super Bowl against the Eagles was largely due to he got there late. And it was like, oh, well, we had this game plan, which I think is BS because you play cornerback and you've played it all year. You know your 3 coverages you're going to play, whether it's man 2 or 3, pretty much at that point. I don't think he missed it. But either way, practice, I think, does have some effect come Sunday. And it's like, if DeMarcus Lawrence and Leonard Williams miss a few reps in practice on Wednesday, probably not going to change much. Like, you're a defensive end, like you rush the passer. It's pretty, I don't know, but it's weird to see Jackson Smith and Jigba not practicing fully due to rest.
It's true. This whole room just shook, so I'm not sure if that was an earthquake or just too many people in it at one time, but that was just a fun little excursion for me.
You had a behind you at one point, the backdrop kind of.
I know.
Whoosh.
I know. I was looking. I thought it was going to collapse on me.
I'm gonna search Twitter for earthquake while you make this next point.
Just as one point more about the Seahawks, like for the Patriots, they all go into the tent, the media tent. They all sit down in their chairs and they all just are being asked questions the whole time. I feel like a good fraction of the Seahawks just like pieced out midway through theirs.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find some guys. Some of them were just kind of chilling in the hallway during it. It felt like, And I don't want to I don't want this to get blown up or anything because I don't think it's a lack of like coaching control, but it felt like Vrabel is probably pushing more like, hey, this is your responsibility. You have to do it for this 45 minutes, yada, yada, yada. Respect the media, respect everything. Whereas the Seahawks were just like a little bit more like laissez-faire, I guess I would say. Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, it's like if you show up and do some and leave, I don't think you're not going to get arrested.
No, I don't think that. I'm not advocating.
I know you weren't advocating. I'm just saying.
I'm not advocating for them to get fined, but yeah.
I'm trying to think. I remember in Houston, like they had all the podium. First of all, another Mickey Mouse thing about your little media operation there with the players at tables with no tablecloth, so you just see their legs under the table. It looks terrible when people put pictures and videos. It's like, is this the Super Bowl or is this like the Catholic Central Division of Ohio's high school interviews ahead of the state championship? It's ridiculous.
Right.
But
so yeah. Do you think the people who didn't put tablecloths down should be arrested or fined?
At least fined. Arrested, probably not. But it's just this is the Super Bowl. Can we get some tablecloths? I don't need to see Will Campbell's feet while he talks about the football game. It's ridiculous. But I remember like at previous ones, you have the risers, and then everyone like defensive linemen would sit at a big round table, and you could talk to them if you want. Like a backup quarterback probably at his own table because there's a lot of people asking. Is it similar to that setup and just there's fewer Seahawks sticking around to the end?
Yeah, like the Seahawks, there was like 10 people at podiums and then everyone else at a table. And then some of the guys just never even went to their tables or they were just like wandering around. I think that maybe they were just used to media night and they didn't know what they were supposed to do or whatever it was. And if no one was talking to them, they were just like, oh, I'm going to get out of here. But because I don't know, as more people were going to Patriots and Seahawks as it was, and then as it gets later in the week, less people are going to show up. So like a lot of the Patriots players today were sitting by themselves for a little period of time, which was nice for me because I was able to get one-on-ones with like 1/5 of the team today.
Right.
But one thing that I think is kind of funny that the Patriots did, and maybe they always do this, but they tried to make the Santa Clara Marriott feel as much like the actual facility that they walk into as possible. So like when they walk in the facility, it's Mike Vrabel's office and then Stretch's office. They actually brought a lot of the same like pictures and signage into the building as much as possible too. And like those things probably don't, clearly relate to whether or not you win a Super Bowl or not. But the players did seem appreciative of it, at least to make it feel like a normal week, even though they're practicing next to palm trees this week.
Right. And I think, this is where having a head coach who's played in these and having an offensive coordinator who's coached in, what is this, 10? 10 of them?
I think it might be 11. So 1, 3,
yeah,
4,
and he was a
7,
low-level assistant at the beginning. But
11,
14,
16, 17, 18. Okay, so
11, he was like an assistant because Bill O'Brien
was a consultant.
He was brought back in January or whatever, but still was a part of it. So he knows the drill. So I think that's the you try to make it as normal as possible while recognizing that it isn't normal. I think that's probably a big part of what you labeled as the Patriots being buttoned up or professional or good, because I think like I heard Drake May, or was it Drake May? I think it was Drake May who said like Vrabel instructed them how to treat security when they check their badges. Like don't be a dick to security.
Yes, he did.
So I mean every aspect's been covered.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the question today that made me laugh today. So I don't know who this was. If he's a Pats Chat listener, I apologize to you profusely. But the question was, when you won the title as a player in 2001, it seemed like as that season went on, you guys started to believe. After having a tough season in 2000, not many people thought that you could get to the title, especially beating the Rams. The Patriots last year had a tough season with only 4 wins. Do you see any similarities, also with a young quarterback, do you see any similarities between the team and this team and that experience that you had as a player in that situation? Is that something that maybe you could help your players as a coach?
Can I cut in?
I think Mike Vrabel has been asked that question 300 times this season. And I was so impressed with his restraint to not be like, sir, I have answered that before.
But wouldn't the answer be I wasn't on the 2000 Patriots?
It was. That was part of it. And he said I wasn't on the 2000 Patriots. I also wasn't on the team last year.
Yeah, that's a good point. He had nothing to do with the 2024 Patriots. I mean, that's the type of thing, right? A little behind the scenes for anyone that's never written about sports professionally. Like sometimes you're going to write a story. You don't you don't need to ask that question because you've already written your story. Like just write it.
Yeah.
You're not going to get the end. You got to ask something different.
I didn't ask Vrabel a question this week because I've already asked Vrabel too many questions, and I thought it might just be kind of performative to be like, I have to ask Mike Vrabel a question this week, you know?
For sure. I know that feeling. A lot of people in our business don't mind performing and just
they love being performative.
They get the mic, you know, they're like, oh, Mike, how's it going? You know, you actually know me, unlike these jabronis over here.
Yeah.
Anyways, a lot of people do that. Did I ever tell you about the time I was writing a story? This is fun. It was at the Super Bowl in 2019, and I wanted to do like the Super Bowl loser thing. Like they don't make it back, let alone a lot didn't make the playoffs, let alone make it deep, let alone play in the Super Bowl, let alone. And I wanted to ask Bill about it, but I knew he'd be like, oh, we don't really talk about last year. We're just focused on today. But I spun it on him, and I was like, Bill, the Super Bowl, the loser of a Super Bowl, and I like laid off yada yada yada. Typically don't make it back here. I asked your players how you got back here, and they all pointed at you and said, you keep things a certain way every day, blah, blah, blah. What do you give credit to? So he almost had to give me somewhat of an answer, and it worked. And the quote went in the story, and I won a Pulitzer Prize for it.
No way. Congratulations.
Well, don't fact check it, but it was a decent story that probably got a few thousand hits on the internet.
Matt Collins brought a chessboard today to media availability, and if you asked him a question, you had to move a chess piece. How do you feel about that?
I don't mind that. At this point, like on when today's Thursday. By Thursday of Super Bowl week, it's like we've got to do something to mix.
I thought it was fun. I didn't do it because he had like a line of people. He had a queue waiting to ask him a question because he's an interesting fellow, that Matt Collins.
Yeah.
But one question I've been asked a lot this week, just from doing like podcasts and from my own employer and everything like that. Do you think there's a player on the Patriots who is an X factor in this game?
It depends who you're asking, because
I'm asking you.
Well, I'm just saying, if you were to ask most of the national media who still don't know who plays on the Patriots,
right,
you might be like Mike Onwenu. We'll get to that later. But an X factor, you mean someone that, I mean, like, we know the players. You'd have to go off the board, like Efton Chisholm throwing a pass, or like Kyle Williams catching a deep ball. Like those would be real, what I would consider for Pat's chat purposes, an X factor. Whereas like I can't tell you Milton Williams. That's not a Pat's chat X factor. That's a Pat's chat star.
It is.
If I'm on national TV right now, maybe I could get away with saying that. But I think one of those guys that, you know your top three receivers, your top two tight ends, that next guy who's like sixth in the pecking order still might have something to do in this game and would be random. I think the most
Corey Durden, Elijah Ponder.
I like that. I mean, like, again, not a Pat's chat X factor. Like Jalen Hawkins has a nose for the football, could pick off a Sam Darnold deep shot. Not a Pat's chat X factor, though. Right. I think the ultimate example of this, Super Bowl 49, Patriots-Seahawks, hardball with Chris Matthews, 0 career catches, just showing up and having 100 yards, a touchdown, just like dominating.
I thought you were going to say Malcolm Butler. I was going to be like, I've heard of that play.
Okay,
another X factor.
That was a good one. That would have been a good one. But I was thinking the reason Malcolm Butler was in the game was because Chris Matthews was just sunning Kyle Arrington for 2+ quarters. And they're like, all right, we've got to go to the backup here. Lo and behold, it worked out. So I think that's someone like, could I conceive of Kyle Williams running a double move deep shot and catching like a 40-yard touchdown? Like, yeah, I wouldn't bet on it, but I'd say that could be an X factor. How about you?
Well, the funniest thing to say in response to this question is that Drake May is actually the X factor, because Drake May actually does have to play better in this game than he's played all postseason for them to win this game. So like the true X factor in this game is actually Drake May. Obviously, you don't want to hear that. That's not a traditional X factor. But isn't that truly like the Patriots are not going to win this game if Drake May doesn't play better than he has so far this postseason? True, right? Or false?
You need Drake May to remind Patriots fans and everyone else how good he was during the regular season, because the past few weeks, for various reasons, have not been great. And I think really the only one that I found concerning in terms of playoff performances was the Denver one because he was just
Right.
missing. He was missing passes before he took the shot
Yeah.
from Hufanga. Like he was inaccurate, and before the weather and before taking the shot, he just wasn't at his best. Now that could have been a number of reasons, but this is sort of his next shot. Like the Houston game, that was crazy. He was under fire and played pretty well despite that. The Chargers game, like he did enough with his legs, with the one pass to Henry. Like he did enough in those games where you weren't like concerned. The performance in Denver was a little alarming. And if that carries over and he plays like that again, you're going to get blown out.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Our friend Alex Barth said that he could see Jack Westover being the Malcolm Butler or Chris Matthews. I
can't see that one. I don't.
A touchdown catch in the flat, maybe something like that.
I've watched actually.
Just leave him completely wide open.
I've watched several times Jack Westover being completely wide open, whether it's over the middle or in the flat. And Drake May does not even look there. I don't believe.
He's got to throw it to him at some point.
I don't believe he's in his progressions. I don't believe Westover.
Michael Penix would do it. Michael Penix would throw it to him.
That's true. And there was, I think it was Super Bowl 49. It was. James Devlin had like 3 catches, I want to say, against the Seahawks. And they were all for like 4 yards. But they were like nice little runs, basically. So I guess it's possible. I would say more like
Jack Westover revenge game.
I was going to go to another Jack, like Jack Gibbons.
Hold on. So let's actually talk about this right now. Because the big game is almost here. And there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And since the big game is right around the corner, that also means it's your last chance to get into football action before next season. So close the season out right with Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. And folks, there is a big game max discount. This week's Prize Picks has a special max discount for the big game. Live in the app now, Drake May just needs 1 passing yard for the max discount to win. Just add another player to your lineup. And if your picks hit, you can cash in. So I'm actually going to pull up Prize Picks as we speak right now. And I'm going to throw the Drake May big game discount in there because I do believe that since he's an X factor in this game, he will have more than 1 passing yard. But I'm going to see if there's also a Jack Westover 0.5 receptions in here as well.
It's a free country. You're free to check. I disavow whatever you pick on that one.
Let's see. I'm scrolling. There's a Jack Westover 0.5 receptions. You know what? For Alex Barth, I'm going to do this.
Can I just interject because we have great respect for the past chat listenership, right?
Yeah.
We just went through that. Like we're not going to demean you or talk down to you. There's a chance, I don't know what percentage, at least 10% of our listeners, perhaps as high as 25%, do not know who Jack Westover is. There's a good chance. The man
Jack Westover is the Patriots starting fullback. He plays like 20 snaps a game.
Had never played the position before this year.
He has like 3 catches in the last 4 games. No, 2 catches in the last 4 games, I think.
He has 2 catches, 1 in the regular season, 1 in the postseason. A 2-yard reception in the regular season, an 8-yard reception in the playoffs. What game was that?
That was Chargers game, I think.
The Chargers game. He had an 8-yard reception. Oh, everyone had a catch that day. We talked about that. Like 8 or 10 people caught. Everyone caught a pass. I think Mike Vrabel had a catch. I guess that thought, because Alex Barth, he's a thinker. He's deep in the weeds. The head coach is Mike Vrabel, famously a linebacker who catches touchdowns.
Yep.
I could see a little trickery on the goal line, something like that. So fair enough. I'm not going to go that far, but I appreciate the thought process.
We need a Seahawks prize pick in here too. Name a Seahawks player.
How about this one? Ooh, let's go off the board. How about give me a Bobo? Give me a Bobo. I laugh every time. Every time Bobo gets involved, I laugh because I hear Mike Felger calling me or someone else a Bobo.
Jake Bobo, 0.5 receiving yards.
Oh, give me that. Take the Westover one.
This is great.
Yeah.
All right.
This is the one. You're welcome, everyone.
Do you know what? This is all we need for our prize picks to hit this week.
Yep.
1 passing yard from Drake May,
Yep.
1 receiving yard from Jake Bobo,
Who caught a
and
touchdown in the
one-
NFC Championship game.
and 1 reception from Jack Westover. $20 entry fee, $190
Yeah.
to win.
Yeah, that's a fun one. I mean, 2 of those things I would say are likely. Bobo isn't, a rando.
Yeah. Well, it's
kinda-
also fun because Jake Bobo is from New England and Jack Westover is from Seattle. So
that's fun. That is fun. Bobo caught a 17-yard touchdown against the Rams. He caught a 16-yard pass the previous week against the Niners. Now, he hadn't caught a ball since mid-October before that and late September before that, and that just about does it.
yeah.
But he had, he has caught passes, so there's a chance. So I think we nailed it.
Jack Westover was mad at some of his friends because they were saying to him, "We'll cheer for you, but go Hawks." And he was like, he told them to kick rocks.
Wow.
Yeah.
That rhymes with go Hawks, kick rocks, so it makes sense.
Go Hawks, kick rocks.
I believe Bobo said the same about his Massachusetts friends, that they're
Did he tell them to kick rocks?
That doesn't sound like a very Massachusetts way to answer your friends who are being a-holes to you, but I cannot confirm nor deny what he said.
That's fair.
I'm getting a potential spam call right now.
Don't pick it up.
I did not win any Super Bowl chips, if you haven't figured that out yet.
Wow. All right. Well, I think that one's going to hit. You tweeted out something funny about Mac Jones today.
Yeah, so I was watching I watched a movie last night, not to brag, The Talented Mr. Ripley. You ever seen it?
I have, a while ago.
Great film. And so it was pretty late, and I shut the movie off, and it switched to cable, and NFL Network was on, and they had Mac Jones on there, and I was like cleaning up or whatever, and he had a good zinger. They were talking about Josh McDaniels, and Tom Pelissero was like, "You had Josh McDaniels. He left. He went to the Raiders," and Mac just goes, "Yeah, Josh, thanks a lot." And everyone was dying laughing, which was literally like, "You kind of ruined my career, buddy." Which, you know what I found interesting? Because I tweeted out today. I didn't do it last night because no one would have seen it. And I would say almost unanimously, the quote tweet response, everyone's like, "You're all right, Mac Jones."
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not how Patriots fans felt 2 years ago. So I do feel like, the Patriots are in a better place now, and fans are able to be like, "You know what? You didn't get the best. Like, it worked out in the long run. You got Drake May and Mike Vrabel instead of whatever. But you know what, Mac Jones? You're all right." I think that was the common response.
I'm glad, because Mac Jones, good guy, and legitimately funny. Like, that was really quick. Thanks, Josh.
I have never made myself laugh as much as he did in that moment, and he seems to do that.
He does.
Every 20th word that comes out of his mouth,
he'll
make himself die laughing, and I think that's aspirational to someone like me. Stop and smell the roses and laugh at your own jokes sometimes. But that was pretty funny. I have a question for you.
Yes.
Can I bring up Colin Cowherd's top 10 players in this game and see if we can do a better job?
Yeah.
So I saw someone tweet this out, and I was like, this is AI. This is fake. There's no way a national broadcaster put this out with his name on it. But sure enough, Colin Cowherd yesterday listed the top 10 players in this Super Bowl. Okay.
Yeah.
So you stop me, Doug, when I get ridiculous. Okay.
Okay.
Number 1, Jackson Smith and Jigba. We're off to a good start. Number 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd start. Well, okay. Number 2, Devin Witherspoon.
It's already ridiculous.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Number 3, Kenneth Walker III.
It's off the rails.
Those are the 3 best players in this game. And ready for number 4, Sam Darnold is the 4th best player in this game. Finally, at number 5, we get to Drake May.
We're in a goofy zone. Yeah. Drake May, Drake May has to be 1 or 1A, like 1 or 2, obviously. But
I'm okay. Like Smith and Jigba, I believe, might be the best receiver in the NFL. So it's like he is the most talented. Yeah. He has the ball in his, et cetera, et cetera. Like, that's fine. Drake May has to be number 2.
Yes.
He's got to be number 2.
You're not going to put Kenneth Walker over him? Possibly not even the best running back in this game.
Possibly not the best cornerback in this game. If I'm starting a franchise, with guys on this team, I'm starting with Devin Witherspoon, and then you can pick Drake May, okay? And then I'm going Kenneth Walker, and we're just going to start a dynasty. So then it goes, this is my favorite part. 6, Stephon Diggs. Clearly, this is like, oh, I know that guy. Right. He used to be a star.
Yep.
7 is Nick Emanwari, which rookie impact player.
Right.
Interesting choice, I would say.
Yeah.
He'd probably be more like a 9-10 type if you're doing this thing, but whatever.
Maybe deeper. Yeah.
Probably. Number 8, the 8th best player playing in the Super Bowl. Patriots right guard Mike Onwenu. And like this podcast, the Patch, we realized last week, like we haven't mentioned this guy. What a playoff run from him.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't crack my top 18. Probably. I haven't done it out, but he's not the 8th best player in the Super Bowl by my standard. How about you?
Right. Not number 8. No.
Odd choice. That is literally like he must have looked at PFF grades or something and just picked a random.
Pete Prisco also did this, and he had Onwenu number 9.
I don't know. It must be a PFF thing. That's just I don't watch the Patriots.
Yeah.
And Mike Onwenu's been very good.
Yeah.
As a right guard.
Right.
Like I'd argue Morgan Moses had a better season.
That's possible. Yeah.
It's a more important position.
Right.
Like it's a harder position.
Yeah.
I might argue Bradbury. I mean, probably not as good of a season, but probably a more important position. Either way, crazy. Right. Number 9, DeMarcus Lawrence, fine. Number 10, Milton Williams, certainly probably belongs on this list somewhere. But I just found that jarring that an adult professional would put that out there.
So no Christian Gonzalez on this list.
Never heard of him. Who's that? Is he better than Nick Emanwari? Do you think? Yes. Christian Gonzalez? You do? Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Yes. So this is interesting. Prisco had Smith and Jigma number 1, May number 2, Witherspoon number 3, Leonard Williams 4, Charles Cross 5, Christian Gonzalez 6, Byron Murphy 7, Abraham Lucas 8, Onwenu 9, Darnold 10, then Milton Williams. So Milton Williams is clearly the most snubbed on that list.
What are people doing? You know, keep it simple.
He had Kenneth Walker number 15.
Well,
he had Stephon Diggs number 17,
which is probably more accurate than 6.
Probably, yeah. The most egregious on this list was that Mac Hollins, he only ranked the starters, so 44 players. Where do you think Mac Hollins is?
I'm getting the sense that it was disrespectful, so I'm guessing it was toward the end.
43.
That's a little nuts.
Who's better, Mac Hollins or Jared Wilson?
I don't think there's a discussion to be had there.
He also had Cooper Kupp number 40, so he just hates wide receivers.
Interesting. So it's funny you mentioned Prisco. I saw a tweet go out from CBS Sports, and he was saying, he's like, there's no chance this is a close game. This is a blowout Seahawks win. That's actually really good news for Patriots fans listening, because Pete Prisco is 2-10 against the spread this playoffs and 6-6 straight up.
Wow.
I only know that because my friend sent me and was laughing about it. 2-10 against the spread in the playoffs is hard to do. If you've ever done picks before, like it's easy to go like 5-7, 4-8 is a really, but like to go 2-10, you're like on a heater in an impossible way. So that is good news. I think it's just more evidence. A lot of people still haven't watched the Patriots, and I think that's what I'm taking away as the week goes on.
Yeah, or they're just heavily biased towards the playoff run, which I've believed all along. You got anything else in your notes over there?
Yes. So we'll have to do another pod tomorrow reacting to the MVP vote, the Coach of the Year vote.
Well, it seems like Ben Volin kind of spoiled that Vrabel's going to get Coach of the Year.
Yeah, which to me is one where like there's a buddy with Roger with his little chummy Deflategate. It's like you got to drop that one, Ben. Next time I see Ben, I'll be sure to tell him like you don't have to do the Deflategate non sequitur before you ask a question to Goodell. But
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was right before media night. You probably weren't even in the building yet because Roger likes to hide when he does these now. Anyways,
it's crazy. That is crazy.
Monday, I thought it was in San Francisco because Pro Football Talk had a story that said it was in San Francisco, and I was like, so he did it 2 hours away from media night, right before me, but it was in that same building, I guess. Yeah. You know what else was in that building?
What?
Not that building. Was it? No, it was where you are. The Pro Bowl. Boy, was that a piece of crap. I thought they were going to do
something about it.
I think they were going to do games and stuff. Like
it wasn't. Was it just flag football?
And it was so. I kept flipping back, waiting to see if it was something, and it was like it's 60-53 NFC, and it's like, what are they? Why are they doing this? Like, I'd rather have them play silly games than a long flag football game. But no, like the Coach of the Year one, if Vrabel wins, and we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's one where it's like I know everyone's heated about May versus Stafford. That's one where it's like there's a sterling case for at least 3 guys, whether it's Cohen, whether it's McDonald, whether it's Vrabel. Like those guys
Yeah,
all have perfect cases to win the award.
right,
So I guess it's a little surprising that Vrabel won it only because no matter who won, it'd be a little surprising.
right. No, definitely. I think like there's probably like 10 coaches who could get it this year. Because
Yeah,
even
like
like Kyle Shanahan, Sean
was up
Payton,
there.
I know all these things look worse after the playoffs, but they're a regular season award. I actually wish that they would announce them earlier than this, because this deep in the playoffs, it's like it almost sounds ridiculous to have some of these people potentially win, but it seems like it won't be. If it is Mike Vrabel, it's well deserved.
And if anyone's concerned out there, if Drake May does win the MVP curse was broken by Mahomes a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, no one since Kurt Warner in '99 had won the MVP and the Super Bowl in the same year.
Right.
Yeah. It was a crazy run.
Yeah.
It was like you don't want to win the MVP. But it just popped. We haven't talked MVP in so long.
Yeah.
That when Mina Kimes tweeted that video, it was like she posted a video from ESPN and it was a very well-reasoned, like statistical, analytical argument. This is why I voted for Drake May.
Right.
And then Dan Orlovsky, like I had forgotten how bad his reasoning was with this stuff. Just comes in like, well, you can't just ignore strength of schedule. And she's like, Bozo, I literally talked about the strength. Like I addressed it. And then he's like, common opponents? Like what are common opponents? And it's like, those are called common opponents. That's what it was. So
you're just picking some games. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, that's what you're doing too.
That's what I just feel like no one told Dan. I don't know Dan. Maybe you've met him. Maybe you've talked to him. No one told him. You can just be like, I picked Stafford because I liked his season better than May's. Like you don't have to pretend.
You don't have to pick apart and like you. This is the trap that all fans fell into too, where like I don't know if Patriots fans were doing as much with with Matthew Stafford, but like they want to bring down Drake May so badly. It's like you don't have to do that. You just need to state the case for your guy. You don't need to try to completely trash the other person.
Yeah, I think where Patriots fans detracted from Stafford was all the 1-yard touchdowns, which like fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, but I never really gave my take on that. It's kind of hard to score on the red zone
when you have Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. It's easy.
That is
so
true.
It's like it's part of the conversation, but I don't know when Manning. I might have said this before. When Manning broke Brady's touchdown record in 2015, was it 15? Or was it 13? I think it was 13.
13. It was 13. He was bad 15. 15.
He could not throw the ball. He got hurt in 15. He had to order some supplements for his wife by way of a legitimate clinic. Don't worry, it never happened. But in 2013, like they would get to the goal line and hunt these touchdowns.
Right.
And it cheapened it a little bit for sure. I think for the Rams this year, like that was the best way of scoring a touchdown.
Right. Yeah, I think so too.
Like I don't think handing to Kyren Williams at the 2 is better than throwing a jump ball to Devontae Adams, who led the league in touchdowns. So I don't know. If I were to predict, I still think Stafford's going to win it. I think May has a fighting chance.
Too. Yeah.
But we'll lay it out tomorrow and react to it. I just think there's no standard criteria for MVP voting. So there's no reason to get overly upset about whatever happens. Right.
There's no point in acting like it's absurd. So, all right. I think that will do it unless you got anything else to go for today's Pats Chat. Tomorrow we'll be back. We'll talk about the MVP. We'll talk about the Coach of the Year. We'll talk about all the awards. And we'll kind of do maybe more of a slightly formal Super Bowl. What's going on?
Throw your sunglasses on so we could do a meme like Stidham. Pats Chat. Stidham edition. Looks great. We should have done the whole podcast like this.
Should have done Scott Zolak edition.
Yeah, and don't forget buttwarts.com for all of your buttwarts needs. I hope that's not a real website. Crap.
Jackson Smith and Jigba has also been wearing sunglasses, I think, in all of his media availability too.
And that helps when you have a guy throughout the Emerald City Route Runner or whatever what was the Emerald City Route Crusher? It was
something.
a C.
Yeah.
It was ECR Artist. ECRA.
ECRA.
The Emerald City Route Artist.
That was the Stay Hot pod, I think.
It helps to have shades on, so when your eyes roll all the way back into the back of your head, no one knows. You can just be like, cool, man.
Did you see the question to Vrabel yesterday about positioning on the snow?
No.
Okay.
Positioning?
Yeah. I'll read it. We got a second. Positioning might not be the right word to use here. When you're playing in the snow like you were last week, Do you attack certain patches of grass with the play calling? Look where maybe things are a little bit more trodden on and try to get some footing there. And Vrabel said, we're good. We're just not that good. I mean, hopefully the kickers have the ability to put the ball where they want it, but I don't think we can be that specific. It's a little too difficult to be able to do that. I think the Stay Hot Pod people do great, but that was also one of their hosts. So they asked the ECRA question and that one. Yeah.
The thought is like guys come out with like leaf blowers and blow the 5 yards, every 5 yards, so you can kind of tell where they are in the field. Yeah. I don't think you can strategize plays.
No.
That capitalize on that footing. That's a bad question. Well, now, Doug, you should have asked a question, maybe just to wash that one out of Vrabel's.
It was the last question of the day.
Today?
No, yesterday.
Oh, that would have been great.
Bad note to end on.
Vrabel's just pissed every second up until the Super Bowl because of that dumb question, all due respect. But yeah, no, Doug, you're through. I think I don't want to say, like, the waiting is the hardest part, my friend Tom Petty once said.
I was going to say, I've heard that before.
Yeah, my guy Tom Petty, rest in peace, had a great song about that. And I think it was about the 2-week gap between the championship game and the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think we're finally there. Like, you can, like, people in my perspective who didn't win any contests, like, we can go.
There's still time.
We can go to the supermarket. We can map out our eating plans.
Yep.
Like, it's getting to crunch time, and that's exciting because it's a long time. But tomorrow, what we're gonna go nitty gritty. We're gonna
sure. I think that'll be fun.
Let's strategize. We'll like say like we're gonna do X, Y, and Z for a preview. It's gonna be sick.
I don't know.
Not right now. I mean, not right now.
Yeah,
it's gonna be sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be incredible. And if you thought this was incredible, then leave a rating, a review, do all those fun things. Download the PrizePicks app today. As I mentioned before, use code CLNS, get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup.
And
it's good to be right.
And perhaps 13 of you could convince your friends to listen on Spotify so we can hit a milestone.
If you're an Apple podcast listener,
try it out on Spotify.
Just for a second, just hit play on Spotify. I think you only need to listen for like 10 seconds, but it'll help us.
We're trying something. We're trying
something. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. All right, bye.
Bye. We'll see you guys later.